My brother and I had to do fire watching in the street where we lived.
Was that because you both had hearing problems?
No. Oh, well, that's why we weren't in the forces.
In the forces,
yes.
yeah.
In the evening we had to do fire watching.
Mm-hmm.
And it meant that you prepared yourself to stay up waiting for the siren to go.
Yes.
And if the siren went, then you knew you was going to have the aeroplanes and some bombs dropped.
Yes.
And usually they were fire bombs that they dropped, you see.
Right, to start fires.
Yes. And so we went out, and there was a firebomb came down and landed inside. We had air raid shelters. They'd started to build them in the street.
Yes.
And they hadn't got any roofs on yet.
Oh,
and so this firebomb had gone down inside.
Oh, God.
I mean, what we should have done is just tipped a heap of dirt on it and it would have gone out, you see. But
yes.
And
there's no one in there?
No. No, no, you couldn't go in there. There was no point. There's no
roof on it.
No. And we went in there with the hose and the bucket and pump.
Stewart pump.
And I put the pump into the bucket, ready to pump it. And then brother was standing there with the hose and the water was just squirting out onto the bomb. But this is magnesium bomb and they burn underwater.
Oh, do they?
Water doesn't put them out at all,
no.
you see. And so I pulled the pump out the bucket. I said, this is a waste of time, George. I said, we're not going to put it out with water. I'll go and get a bucket of dirt, you see.
Yeah.
He steps back, puts his foot straight in the bucket of water. And then later on that day, there was another, or that night, there was another one that came through a person's house roof and landed on the landing upstairs and was burning merrily on the carpet.
Yeah.
And
how big were these things, these bombs? Oh, right.
Like that.
But they could do a lot of damage once they start a fire.
They did when they had a dome on the back. If they had a dome on the back, you cleared away because they exploded.
Oh, God.
Anyway, this one fell down onto the landing and I looked up, I thought, that's going to burn through there in a minute. And they ran up the stairs in front of me and they got up there and they were sitting there squirting away with the hose. And it burnt through the woodwork of the floor and landed on the ceiling.
Oh, no.
And then I thought, that's going to come through. So I got a bucket of sand and I stood underneath and the bomb came down and fell in the bucket.
Did it?
Yes, and I carried the bucket outside and dumped it. And as I tipped it upside down, it put it out, you see.
Yeah.
They were still sitting up there round the hole with the trying to put the fire out.
So it went plop, plop,
Well,
plop
yeah.
into your bucket.
Yeah. There we are.
I mean, they were dropping those as you were getting married, weren't you, you and Mum?
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't drop in. No, they were buzz bombs. They were a bit different. Yeah. They were little aeroplanes.
Well, they're dangerous, aren't they?
Oh, they're full of explosives, yes.
Did they
make
have
a big,
little wings?
blow a house down. Hmm?
Did they have like little wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them on the telly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what a buzz bomb is.
Yeah. They were fired off of a ramp, a slope, you see. They were jet propelled.
So where would they be coming from then?
Where the what?
Where would they be coming from?
Germany. Oh, France, this lot.
Oh, right. So it was from the Germans in France?
Yes.
What, and it came all the way over?
Yes. Yes.
Didn't
went
it need
right
petrol or something?
Didn't what?
Didn't it need petrol?
It had petrol.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. Well, that's how it worked.
And it flew like a plane?
It flew like a plane. It would fly along for miles.
Crikey,
While it
I
had
didn't know
juice in
that.
it.
I thought they were dropping buzz bombs from planes.
I was helping Grandad in his Margaret's dad. They'd had the bombs down and they'd lost all their windows and the tiles were all coming off the roof as well. So I climbed up with a long ladder outside and I was pushing the tiles up and her dad was inside the roof. As I pushed the tiles up, he grabbed them and hooked them onto the battens.
Oh yes, yes.
And so I was doing that, and he was inside, and I saw a dark shadow, and it was fanned out, and it went whoosh, whoosh, like that, and I saw what it was. It was a buzz bomb. The engine had stopped, and it was coming down, see? And it was just up the end of the road. And so I screamed out, "Get down!" to your dad. He was inside, you see, in the roof.
Big Grandad, yeah.
Yeah, and I put my feet outside the ladder and slid straight down.
Did you?
And laid down on the ground. Very often, Mum and I'd be riding along on a bike, perhaps going to work or coming home, and you'd see the buzz bomb coming, and if it went that way, you'd go that way, you see.
Yes. Lucky that all the family survived, really.
Well, yeah, lots of families didn't.
No, exactly.
Well, that was all right, but then the V2s came after that. You didn't know when they were coming. You couldn't hear them until after they'd exploded. No, they were much faster, you see.
Oh, God.
They were great big rockets.
Were they?
Mm.
And they were firing these from France? Or?
They were firing these from France, yeah. The East End got a lot of them.
Did they?
Mm. And they would take down a whole row of houses. Yeah.
God.
Single houses usually were buzz bombs.
Really?
Single
them
houses, yeah. Because the other things would take so much more away.
Would they? Would they?
Yes, they're very, very big explosive things.
Gosh.
They made monster holes too in the ground.
So you would have lost a whole street?
More or less, yes.
God.
Yes.
How scary the thought of that coming.
Well, you didn't know anything about them. I mean, you didn't.
You wouldn't have known.
If you were anywhere near it, you would have been blown, and you wouldn't know anything about it. But being a little bit away from it, you would hear it explode. You wouldn't hear it coming.
No.
You'd just hear it explode.
Then
Then you'd hear it coming afterwards. The sound used to come afterwards.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. The sound of it travelling would come after the explosion.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah.
Like
they went very fast.
So like an echo type thing?
Well, yeah. Well, it's the fact that the thing was going so fast that it got in front of its own sound and then exploded, and then you got the sound coming up to you.
So that's what old people say, faster than the speed of sound.
Well, yes, quite right.
God. And were they fired from the ground, V2s?
They had a runway, a slope in France, a long slope, and they fired them up. God. And of course they could go a lot further still than the other things, yeah. Of course, when the buzz bombs first started coming over, all the gunners were all cheering because they thought they'd shot them down. And so then things were supposed to come down.
Oh, I see.
They were full of explosives.
So they thought they'd shot them down themselves?
Yes.